You are looking live here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, here for the live version of the DNA Sports Recap. How's it going, AJ?
Dude, I am doing so good today. So good. Life's good. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. It's been a little bit, wasn't a whole lot going on last week. I don't think you guys really wanted us to recap too much about what, the week that was last week. So we just decided to take a beat there.
It was a boring week.
Not a whole lot to talk about. So we just took the week off there,
Which is going to catch up to us this week because we have a whole lot of stuff coming for you this
way
week.
Too much stuff to talk about. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time this week chit chat on that. We do have McKinley in the chat there. Happy Thursday to you too, McKinley. Appreciate it. Let's see here. It looks like we got another comment there from you. I know only one game in against lesser opponents, but I have much higher hopes for BYU's season this year. Quarterback looked good. Yes, he did, actually.
He did look good.
Exactly inferior opponents, but I definitely liked what I saw there as far as that goes.
The goal is 6 wins, right?
Yeah,
you got to make a bowl game.
Got to be bowl eligible
there
for
absolutely.
Sure. And I definitely think that's probably going to be the case there for the BYU for sure. So really excited about it. Definitely feel like Kalani Sitake's on the hot seat otherwise. So
absolutely.
Yeah, definitly feel like that's going to be the case there. Once again, folks, if you are watching this on our live stream, please feel free to jump in the comments at any time. Chat with us. We want to hear from you, where you're watching from, and what your opinion is on what we're talking about today. So definitely feel free to jump in the comments. We'd love to hear from you on that. As again, folks, while you're watching the live stream, I also want to mention this part there. We did hit the 1,000 subscriber mark where we are giving away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So at every $100 increment, we'll just give that money away. Each time we earn that, we'll just do a giveaway and till we give away the first 500. So,
and hopefully whoever wins it is watching.
That would help.
Yeah, because if they're not watching, it's going to be really difficult to give it to them.
Yeah, it would be one of those things.
I thought about that the other day. I was like,
it's pretty simple. We would just announce them and say, hey, check out the pin, DM us, and we'd get it to them.
Yeah,
we can figure it out.
We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. We know. We know. We got this.
We got this.
We got it figured out. But yeah, so first of all, we got a lot to talk about here. So we'll go ahead and jump into that here in just a second. But before we get to the show, before we get to the podcast, let's go ahead and pre-show cheers. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, my friends.
Knob Creek 9 year still this week.
So I got a comment.
Pretty good. Let's see here. What we got here. See, watching from hockey tourney in Michigan.
I'm here to hear about Utah Hockey Club. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. We definitely got a lot to
talk about. We got some good stuff. Yeah.
Definitely, EC. Appreciate it. What's going on with the hockey tourney? Is it are you playing? Is it a kid playing? What's going on there? We'd love to hear from you. Are you a scout? That'd be cool. Let us know what's going on there for sure. Thanks for chiming in, letting us know where you're watching from. Super awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it here. We're going to go ahead and start with the podcast intro, and we're going to roll from there. Does that work for you?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the DNA Sports Recap. Which rookie NFL quarterback will have the best season?
And let's predict Utah versus Baylor.
In the NHL, does John in the NHL, not NFL, in the NHL, does Josh Doran have a chance to win? I said Doran, didn't I?
You did.
That's right. Okay. In the NHL, does Josh Doran have a chance to win a Rookie of the Year in the NHL?
And let's predict the Jazz's starting rotations.
Domingo Haman makes a start for the Pirates and shoves. Why is that interesting?
Trevor Bauer has offers for his next step in his major league career. Let's talk about it.
Shohei Ohtani joins the 40-40 club on his route to being the first player in Major League Baseball history to make 50-50. All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
I'm good, buddy. I'm great. I'm ready to do this.
Awesome. Well, before we jump into the content here, once again, folks, we do want to remind you that we have made it. Actually, you folks did it. We hit 500.
It's one of
Wow,
those days.
I'm out of practice here, AJ. I'm out of practice. You guys did it. You guys did it. You guys made this channel hit 1,000 subscribers. So we'd like to thank each and every one of you for doing that and for your support. And like we said, we're going to be giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway. And as always, smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
I need it. Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about college football, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to start with actually, we're going to start NFL and go into college, right?
NFL, yeah.
Is that how we're doing it?
Because we can talk NFL on the couple things we're going to talk about because they were just in college last year and we know college.
Yeah, so that works out. That works out. If anybody's here for our NFL content, sorry, you're on the wrong channel.
Yeah, no.
We tried it. No one watched it, so we're moving on. Let's go ahead and hit a few comments there before we jump into that there. Let's see here. Watching a hockey tournament. Oh, so that's what we have.
14 UAA CCM tourney for my kid.
Nice. Awesome.
Super
man.
cool.
Congrats. That's
super
awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Very, very cool. We'll definitely get into some hockey content in just a minute, but let's go ahead and first talk a little bit about, well, we followed college football pretty closely last year, and there are several, there was an article in The Athletic about which top quarterback in the NFL is going to have the best year. And I figured since we followed college football so well last year, we should probably give our take on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this was posted by The Athletic. It was a survey done last week that was posed the survey question: which NFL rookie quarterback is set to have the best year? And they had 4 there. They had Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, and other. They had Caleb Williams at 43%, Bo Nix at 28%, Jaden Daniels at 18.3%, and other was 7%. So like I said, we covered college football a little bit last season, and I think it's worth discussing. What do you think?
I totally agree.
Totally agree. So what is your thought on this list? Who do you think is going to have the best year?
I mean, I don't know if Bo Nix is even in this conversation, to be honest. I think this is kind of a 2-man race between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams.
Okay.
I think the biggest issue that I kind of have with Jaden Daniels is he doesn't have a whole lot of great weapons around him. They just traded Jahan Dotson. He was a former first-round pick. He had over 500 yards in the last 2 seasons, which is not mind-blowing great. But the fact is Washington keeps kind of changing their offensive scheme. I think it's going to be kind of hard for him to kind of jump in and really get going with this team. I think he's going to have a harder time than Caleb Williams. My pick would probably be Caleb Williams for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's got weapons everywhere. Obviously, the Bears have DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, we missed in one of our very first NFL episodes. Keenan Allen, they just got from the Chargers, and they drafted Rome Odunze from Washington. Williams is a fantastic. Caleb Williams is a great quarterback. Now that he's not in college football, I can say that because obviously I didn't like him at USC.
Right.
My Utes had to play him. That's just not going to work. But
right.
The fact is the dude has just an uncanny ability to break out, not get sacked. He keeps his eyes down the field really well. He's great at throwing receivers open and into space. And I mean, with some of these receivers, Rome Odunze is going to be fantastic. I think he's going to help Caleb Williams have a great season. It's going to be awesome.
All right. So I got a different way I'm going to break this down.
Okay, I'm ready.
So let's first start with the options that each of these quarterbacks are going to have.
Okay.
All right. That's how I'm breaking it down. So first, let's talk about the most important thing when it comes to any rookie quarterback is going to be the offensive line. Who's protecting them, right? So Caleb Williams is going to have to take that one. The Bears have the 12th ranked O-line. Bo Nix, who is playing for the Broncos, has just a leg above them, just a rung above them on the 11th. However, Jaden Daniels, the Commanders, has the worst, which is ranked 27th of all named quarterbacks.
Ouch.
So, yeah, that one's going to be a toss-up between Bo and Caleb there. We also have wide receivers and tight ends. Caleb Williams of the Bears has the 3rd ranked with a score of 90 of the best wide receivers and tight ends as far as power rankings go for that segment of who he's throwing to. Bo Nix has ranked 26th with a score of 14 on the power rankings for wide receivers and tight ends. Jaden Daniels of the Commanders is ranked 21st with a score of 39. So again, that one, chalk that one up to Caleb Williams as well. Next piece we have there. So the next most important thing. So we got the first 2, who's protecting you, who are you throwing it to? The third one for me is going to be the head coach.
Yeah.
I think that's also important. You got to have the head coach that has confidence in you, right? So we've got Matt Eberflus, Eberflus. I can't remember say his last name right. Am I saying that right? I don't know. I've heard it both ways. Let me know in the comments down below if I'm getting that wrong. But he is in his third season of with the Bears, ranked 22nd in the coach power rankings. Sean Payton of the Broncos is ranked 18th, right? And then you got Dan Quinn of the Commanders, who's getting his second chance as underneath the big headset, and he's ranked 25th. So with that one, the Broncos have the leg up on that. So Bo Nix has the leg up on that one. So with that said there, I don't know. You'd have to let me know on that one. I'm kind of still leaning towards Caleb Williams on that. Projections, Caleb Williams is projected to complete 65% of his passes, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions with 3,727 yards passing. Jaden Daniels' projections are 62 completion percentage with 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 3,234 yards. Bo Nix is projected to make 68% of his completions, 1,987 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So yeah, I mean, I'd hate to say it, but I think, just like you said there, I think Caleb Williams has a shot of being the most effective quarterback. Most effective. Oh, geez.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I think Williams definitely has the best chance to. Like I said, he's got weapons everywhere. I think he's got a good chance at having some targets to throw to and making the most out of all the opportunities that I think he's going to get.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to these quarterbacks, there's also something going to get overlooked just simply because they're not really going to be starting. You got Penix Jr. He's more of a developmental project, and also will probably sit behind Cousins for a couple of years.
It's if Cousins can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's another part of it. His health as well.
Yeah.
You got Drake May, who's with the Patriots. Jacoby Brissett is probably going to start over him, but the door might be open there a little bit depending on injury. And we wouldn't be surprised if Crash wants to shake up the house a little bit, post Belichick era, right? So,
yep.
So when it comes to this, though, I have to say that out of all the quarterbacks in preseason, the one that passes the eye test, probably the best for me, is Bo Nix.
Well, yeah, he's looked great.
He's looked really good in preseason.
Yeah, he has looked really good.
Shanahan's, when it comes to the kind of dragging their feet there, when it comes to announcing Bo Nix as the starter for the preseason, but he gets the nod going into week 1. I have to say, man, like as far as when it comes to that, I would say Caleb Williams all the way, except for 2 reasons. One, I like Bo Nix in preseason so far, and the second one is that I just can't get over the way he reacted after they lost to the Utes.
Williams?
Yes.
Oh, that's just standard. I mean,
the standard crybaby, sit on the edge of the sidelines, put your hands on the hair, not on your head, not talk to the press, not shake hands, and just throw a big on tissy fit because things didn't go your way. You think that's going to get any easier in the NFL? Do you think the NFL is going to care whether or not their rookie quarterbacks' feelings get hurt and they're not going to run them out there to the press? I'm telling you, man, if things don't go this kid's way, I could see him faltering a little bit. I think that does open up the door for Bo Nix to kind of come in there and take the reins for having a better potential rookie season over Caleb Williams.
I like it. I'll take it.
All right. So we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think when it comes to the best, which quarterback has the best chance of having the best rookie season this year in the NFL. We'd love to hear from you. First game actually is tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's probably why
it's going to be starting like right now.
Yeah. So the game's starting right now. So interesting. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that for sure. But anyway, so before we move on to college, we want to stay on the NFL for just one more thing. I wanted to give a quick shout out to your boy. Congratulations to Britton Covey for signing a 1-year deal and will be placed on the active roster as a wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I love this, dude.
This is fantastic. He signed a $985,000 guaranteed contract.
Yeah. Britton Covey's just such a stud, man. He works so hard. I'm super happy for him.
No, I agree. You know, he's a theater kid.
I totally believe it. I could see him.
Theater kid growing up. He said they would probably be doing something in that field if he wasn't playing football. If he was able to learn to sing, he said he'd probably be doing something in the theater, which I was surprised.
Also, a high school quarterback.
Yeah. His grandfather, Stephen Covey, is a best-selling author. 7 Habits for Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That was pretty cool. I did not know that. So, yeah, congratulations.
They've also got a podcast.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Everybody has a podcast nowadays. Even
What
us.
losers?
Yeah, seriously, who does podcasts really? Anyway, best of luck to him. Hopefully, we get to see him getting catching some throws from Jalen this year.
Yep.
Look forward to it. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over to previewing the University of Utah versus Baylor, shall we?
Absolutely. So real quickly, I do want to recap the SUU game, right?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that first.
Yeah. So I mean, Utah jumps out obviously to a 35-point lead before the half. They only allow 150 yards of total offense in the whole game. Honestly, it didn't even feel like that. The Utes kind of just stopped them time and time again, forced them behind the sticks. And then obviously when you're pretty consistent at that, you put them in obvious passing situations, which is really just a bad day for SUU.
Mhm.
SUU did have one stat that was significantly higher than Utah's. Are you ready for this? 8 punts for 292 yards.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
When your punting yards is
That is-
almost double your offense,
Yeah.
it's going to be a long day.
Wow. That's
292 yards of punting.
that's tough. That's tough.
But I mean, on the flip side, the Utes do lose Keenan Johnson in this game.
Yeah, that was a big hurt, man. He's out for the season.
Yep.
I believe we did another injury, but that's week to week, right?
Yeah, that one's week to week. Keenan
Yeah.
Johnson loss is huge, dude. I mean, he's a Georgia Tech transfer. Looks like he's probably just going to attempt a redshirt this season. They said he's already preparing to come back next season strong. That's just not how we want as Utes fans. That's not how we wanted the season to start, really.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after we fought so many obviously tough injuries last year. But they do have some pretty good depth at that position. Cam Calhoun from Michigan, Smith Snowden, Scooby Davis. Scooby Davis actually had an interception, the one interception of the game. So they've got some options. I think they'll be just fine at the position. But yeah, I mean, they used to took care of business. They did what they were supposed to.
No, I agree. I mean, did you see my text? I texted you before the game started.
I was at the game. I don't remember.
Okay, so before the game started, before kickoff happened, I texted him the score would be 49-6.
Oh, did you?
Yes, and
You almost nailed that.
almost nailed it.
Yeah.
Almost. So I was close. I thought that there would be either like a couple of field goals there in garbage time, but other than that, I thought we'd get that. But yeah, so good job, Utes. Good, basically doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, which is laying down the hammer and winning the games that you need to win. So definitely that game came away exactly the way we wanted. We did not want to see. That was my key takeaway. I did want to have everybody come off the field healthy and not lose any key contributors for the season, but it looks like we fell a little bit short on that one. So
yeah,
other than that, we kind of nailed that one though.
Yeah, we sure did. Sure did.
All right, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of the Utah versus SUU game. And now let's go ahead and move on over to Utes versus Baylor, shall we?
Yeah, let's preview Baylor. You want to start? Or you want me to start?
Yeah. So when it comes to the Utes, there we're playing Baylor. This is non-conference game, even though the Baylor Bears are part of the Big 12. This game is actually going down Saturday afternoon. So cue the famous quote: "Not in the afternoons anymore." Remember?
Yep.
We got a game in the afternoon. Utes are favored on this one by a spread. I've seen it two different ways. I've seen it by 3 different sites at 15, and I also seen it at 14.5. So the Utes have the hook there. So when I see that there, also the over-under on that one, when it comes to the total points, is 56.5 points. So that's kind of what we have there as far as the line goes. I see the Utes covering this line, honestly. I think the Utes cover this quite well. I don't think it's going to be that close. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
So, I mean, we all remember how this game went last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Utes really, really struggled to move the ball. Bryson Barnes was really struggling. They put Nate Johnson in the third quarter. He takes over, gets us a couple touchdowns. We pull away with a win out of Waco. Guaranteed every single Baylor's returning a ton of starters.
Right.
All these guys have got that fresh in their mind. That loss was huge. This Utah team was not favored going into Waco last year.
No.
Especially without Cam Rising. It was, at this point he was still kind of week to week, wasn't sure. We found out he wasn't going to go. It kind of happens. So the Bears defense should be much better this year. They've got a little bit more experience, obviously a whole year under their belt. But the big thing here is Utah's offensive firepower is much different than it was last year.
Yeah.
In all of our Utah football content, we talk about, just the mass array of weapons as far as Brant Keithy, Dorian Singer, tight ends for days. We've got wide receivers. Money Parks, I think, is going to have an awesome season too. And then And then the Utes, in that first game versus FCU, we kind of see another player kind of break out in Dijon Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
And this was kind of a breath of fresh air to see somebody that we didn't really think was going to be as impactful as he really ended up being. I do hope that the Utes kind of put together some packages for him to continue to let him run the ball, catch the ball down the field. The dude is crazy, ridiculous fast. I almost see the Utes kind of transitioning him out of, because he's technically listed as a running back in this role, but I could almost see him being used as like a Britton Covey type player. He's almost the exact same size.
Okay.
He's got a great ability to catch the football. He's quick, he's shifty. So hopefully they use Stanley a little bit more this year and, kind of keep going with that. So, Baylor's kind of their hope for this season 100% lies in quarterback Dequan Finn. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's a 6-year senior. He transferred from Toledo last year, where he was the MAC Player of the Year last season.
Right.
He did throw 2 interceptions in his game against FCS Tarleton State in their 45-3 win. So that's got to be a little concerning for those guys. I mean, you shouldn't be throwing any interceptions, but it totally happens. Finn does have some explosiveness. He does, his first drive, they drive the ball 35 yards. He runs the ball 39 yards for a touchdown. So this guy's more than happy to tuck the ball, make a run, go for it. And in the past, these mobile quarterbacks have absolutely given Utah some trouble. So Utah's just got to stay net positive, make sure they get him behind the sticks, force him into obvious passing situations, and it'll definitely be an advantage Utah.
Yeah, definitely have an advantage on the quarterback position there. First, we talk about Finn, and he's a 5th-year senior, 6th-year senior.
Yep.
Take that, I'll raise you one. Cam Rising's a 7-year.
Boom.
So there you go.
How many 7th-year seniors are there?
Exactly.
I want to know.
I want to hear it, folks. But yeah, he's also got 254 yards and a 66.7 completion passage. Rising does comparatively to Finn's 192, 63.6 passing percentage so far this season. So 5 touchdowns, no interceptions for Cam Rising, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Finn. So I think that one's I think we're okay there.
Yeah, I mean, experience is a huge thing. Obviously, Cam has ability to throw the ball up the field. So I think that this is going to be a fantastic game, right? This is going to be a fun one to watch. It's not going to be like the SUU game where it's just Utah lighting them up every time they get the ball. There should be some nice back and forth. And it's going to be a good kind of early measuring stick for Utah in the Big 12 conference, right? This is a talented conference. This is a talented football team. I'm really hoping that Cam can kind of come in, control the tempo of this game, put together some calculated drives, run some clock, get a comfortable victory, get Cam out of there if we need to. My prediction is Utah 35, Baylor 7.
I like it. Yeah. So that definitely covers the line. So as well. So that's kind of roundabout where I was at. I didn't think I was going to be 31-7. That was where I'm sitting, but pretty
31's
close.
a weird number.
31's a weird number.
Yeah. Why? How are you going to get a 31?
So you've got.
Oh yeah, I guess you go. Okay.
4 touchdowns and a field goal.
Like it seemed weird. Like 30.
Well, you made me question it. I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
You're questioning my math there.
You made me question my math too. Okay. It's freaking me out.
Before we move on, how about your boy Isaac Wilson, man, getting to get some time on the field there?
He did. I mean, and the coaches were pretty clear about, they put him in a pretty tough situation to end the second half. And
I don't know, man. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. I
think he got some great experience that he absolutely needed to see. I mean, just going in that kind of high pressure situation where you're almost forced to pass the ball because they were trying to score a touchdown.
Right.
I mean, that was the whole goal, was vertical passing and, punch one more in before halftime. So they put him in a tough situation. He throws a pick. But honestly, he looked pretty good.
I think he did too. I think he settled down a little bit.
He settled down in the second half. He made some better decisions. He's way quicker than I thought he was out of the pocket, man.
His arm's got a really good lively arm.
I was impressed. I really liked Isaac Wilson. Hopefully he gets to play against Baylor, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping he gets some time in there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we need to find SUU though, some of that money they got. What are they doing going after Cam on taking that kind of hit? I'm like, dude, whoa.
Cam wasn't helping himself, man. Dude's out there trying to mow people over. Like,
just like, Cam, what are you doing?
And it's funny because you could feel it in the stadium, dude. Every time Cam was running, everyone's like, oh, don't do it. Don't do it, Cam. Stop.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's good. It's good to get him out of there. It's good to see Brent Keefe score 3 touchdowns. It's good to see the injury players from last year back now.
Yeah.
After kicking out the rust and seeing it. So look forward to Saturday's game. You and I both will be there.
Yes.
We're not going together because we're just not tied like that, but we will be at
Wow. I was not aware.
No, we definitely both
Not aware.
will be at the game there. So it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. So it should be a good time this weekend. Looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the comments here. We also have a comment from Annette. I believe that's what it says. Sorry.
That is Annette.
Okay, because it's hard to read from here.
Hello, Annette.
She said, "Hi, AJ." Try not to take that personally, Annette. Thank you very much, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. This is Darren.
It's all good. It's all good. But anyway, so yeah, super awesome. Look forward to it. You got anything else on the Utes before we move on?
No. It should be a good game this week, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about it next week too.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go ahead and pivot on over to Utah Hockey Club, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So actually have a thing here. Forgot about our things. Did you remember our things?
The Utah Hockey Club intro.
Yeah, we have so let's go ahead and talk about your Utah Hockey Club. All right, so let's go ahead and talk. First of all, they just debuted their jerseys for the first time. We're seeing them for the first time this week. We're
actually on players rather than just depictions and graphics. Yeah,
exactly. We did see the first jerseys that were on the drafted players, but those were unique for those players only on draft day, which was super
those
cool.
were draft day only uniforms.
Yeah, less than 3 weeks away from official preseason games for this inaugural season for the Utah Hockey Club. So it cannot be more excited about that. We got to see the jerseys for the first time. What are your thoughts on that versus seeing the mock-ups? What do you have to say about that?
I think that I actually really like the way that the colors, like the contrast of the colors on the black jerseys. I wasn't sure because in a lot of the mock-ups, I feel like it's on a black background and you can't really see the contrast, right? You can't see the blue and the white. It's just like kind of black. It looked like it was kind of almost washed together, but I really like the contrast. They do look really slick. They're nice, clean uniforms. I like the Utah across the front. I really like them a lot.
Yeah, we got to see them on our rookie player Josh. More on him to come later.
Absolutely.
At the NHL PA Rookie Showcase. Looks like with the black uniforms anyway, we're going to be getting the black bucket, which is the helmet for those of you who are new to hockey. The helmet's called a bucket in
love
lingo,
it.
So the more you know. We had the black shorts and the black gloves with the same blue and white stripe on the jerseys. Also making to the socks / pant leg. I don't know. They look like they're socks. I can't really tell if they're socks pulled over or if they're pants underneath the shorts. I don't know. Hockey fans, let me know where I'm getting that wrong there. But I'm pretty sure that that's kind of how that's broken down there. Let's see there. Hi, Annette. And we also have a comment there. Amazon. Okay, fair enough. I'll take the family hit there. Appreciate it. But yeah, so the colors the franchise described as rock black, salt white, and
they look so nice.
Yeah,
we agree.
They do. And also mountain blue, by the way, is what the colors look like.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good to see that. It was good to see what they look like actually on a player. Be looking forward to see what the home ones look like.
I think they're going to look really good on the ice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I really think that the black jersey is going to look really good, like on the ice, actually moving. I don't know. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing them on the ice there and looking forward to that first preseason game. I believe is that on the road? That one's on the road.
I think it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to take a look at that.
I think they open the season on the road.
Yeah. So we might get to see the white ones in that.
Yeah. The alternates.
Yeah. So we'll be able to see that. So
yeah.
I don't know. We'll look forward to it. It's definitely gonna be fun there. So, but sticking with your Utah Hockey Club, let's go ahead and pivot on over to talk about Josh, right?
Yeah. Or did you want to talk about the announcers, the commentators that were announced? Or no?
I thought we could just roll in from Josh being in the uniform to talking about him, but we could do that if you prefer.
No, that's great. Let's go with Josh.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we want to talk about Josh Doan. Obviously, he is a stud rookie player. You want me to just go through with my line? You can kind of give your take on it. Okay, cool. So this guy is easily one of Utah hockey's most exciting players. And he's someone to keep an eye on as we get closer. And we hit the ice here in a couple of weeks. So Doan's a 22-year-old wing. His father is Shane Doan, who is the scoring leader for the Arizona Coyotes. Shane Doan is, I mean, if you know hockey and especially follow this team, over from Arizona, this guy's 100%. He's Mr. Arizona Coyote. I mean, he's a legend, for that franchise. Josh Doan did play his college at Arizona State before he made his way to the Tucson Roadrunners and obviously eventually to the Coyotes, to the Utah Hockey. He's starting at AZ State, though. He scored 28 goals and recorded 47 assists over his 2 seasons there. And during the 22 and 23 season, he was the team captain. He was drafted by the Coyotes with his 37th pick overall in the 2021 NHL entry draft. He signed a 3-year entry-level contract when he did that. He did play a lot for the Roadrunners before being called up for the final 11 games of the season last year.
Right.
When he was with the Roadrunners, he did score 29 goals and 23 assists, which is pretty impressive in that amount of time. In his first game with the Coyotes, he did have 2 goals in his first game with Coyotes, which is just crazy awesome. Yeah, I mean, he finished last year with the Coyotes with 5 goals, 4 assists. That's just a ton of offensive production, man. I mean, in that limited of time, that is just absolutely crazy. And I think this year he's absolutely going to get a chance to show that he belongs to be in the NHL, not playing for one of the affiliate teams.
Oh, for sure.
He's known as a super gifted offensive player. He's got the ability to kind of create havoc inside the offensive zone. He's got great size. He's willing to be aggressive. He's one of those guys that's just always dangerous with the puck, right? So if he does make the roster, he does get some playing time. This is one of those guys that's going to be in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. I am super excited. I think we got one of those young players that we really have the opportunity to look forward to playing and kind of watching him grow with this team. And I'm really hoping he gets some minutes.
Yeah, I think he's going to get some ice time for sure. He did have a really successful first pro season last year with the Roadrunners. You mentioned 26 goals, total of 46 points in 62 games. He also registered 9 total points in his first 11 NHL games last year. So that was really good to see. This year, though, projections do have him profiling as kind of the third line type player. They don't see him being as much as a contributor as he was with the Coyotes last year. This year, this is all from preseason predictions from the Athletic, by the way. I do see him being a solid contributor though this year, and I do think that with the way that the Utah Hockey Club is showcasing him already and kind of putting the first one in that jersey out there, I really definitely think that Utah is going to use him in a different way than what the Coyotes were going to use him originally.
Yeah,
I think they see something a little different in him. And also is worth mentioning that the Athletic has him ranked as 17 in the NHL rookie power rankings. So he's got a ways to climb up for sure. But I definitely think that, he's got a shot on this team to put in some value minutes on the ice. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if Utah really kind of gives him a little bit more extra time.
Put some effort into him. Absolutely.
Not just a development project, but really kind of launching off with him. I don't know.
EC made a comment. He said he's a stand-up guy too off the ice.
Yes, I read a lot about that. For sure.
Absolutely. He's actually just a really great person, which is always great. I mean, those are the types of players we want on our team to cheer for. Obviously,
absolutely. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what you think when it comes to Josh Doan and what you can expect from him his rookie season. We want to hear from you on that for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about what was also announced yesterday. Earlier this week, not yesterday. Yesterday would have been. Doesn't really matter at the time you see this. It will not be that yesterday, so let's not worry about that. But they did announce this week that their broadcasting team for the Utah Hockey Club. So we're getting longtime broadcasting talent of the Desert Dogs. Matt McConnell will be doing the play-by-play for the Utah Hockey Club. What's your take on Matt McDonald?
No, I think it's going to be great, man. I mean, especially to get somebody that's
not McDonald, McConnell.
McDonald. Yeah, you're just hungry, man. It's all good.
It's all good.
You just want some McDonald's. It's all right. So, no, I mean, I love it. I love the fact that they brought this guy back. He's obviously familiar with the team, familiar with the enunciations of all these names. That's what's going to get me this year with Utah Hockey. Some of these names are crazy, man.
Yeah. Oof. If you guys watched some of our hockey content previously, we're struggling, man. We're struggling.
Yeah, butchered these names. But no, I think it's awesome that he is familiar with the team. He is familiar with some of these guys' personalities and what they're going to do. I think it's going to add a ton of entertainment value, and it'll help a lot when you're watching some of these games. Yeah,
13 years with the Desert Dogs there for the Coyotes there. 27-year broadcasting veteran in the National Hockey League. He also called games for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim and also Pittsburgh Penguins and the Atlanta Thrashers. So definitely a long history for that guy for sure. See here, we also have a comment there from McKinley.
Might be a little late, but you guys forgot to change the background color. Yeah. Thanks, McKinley.
Thank you, McKinley. 100% right.
We will absolutely switch it for the next segment. I guarantee that.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
So at least someone's looking out for us, man.
Someone's
We
looking out
obviously
for
can't take care of ourselves.
Apparently
so
not. I forgot the intro. It is what it is.
we don't even know where we're at right now. Yeah, we just show up. We got our iPads. We're like, let's talk
sports, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's what this show's about, man. Just showing up, having a drink with a buddy, talking sports, man. So we're glad you guys are all joining us. So appreciate it. So let's also talk about we talk about players' names, but we're not going to be able to have a people hockey's names. We're not going to be able to.
I'm looking forward to however you're going to announce
this is Nick Olisic. How close am I?
Sounds right.
Nick Olisic. I don't know. Which is really funny because I just heard his name on the radio. He's actually interviewed by Spence Checkers on ESPN 700 this afternoon. Sorry. He is actually announced to be one of the commentators, one of the analysts on television. He played college hockey for the Colorado Tigers, did some ECHL broadcasting early for the Indy Fuel, and was hired on with the Seattle Kraken in 2022, working both the radio booth and TV. He was announced yesterday as the TV analyst for the Utah Hockey Club. His father, Eddie, was a broadcaster for the Kraken, where his uncle, Rick, is also in the front office as the assistant general manager. And believe it or not, his brother, Eddie III, is an amateur scout for the Kraken as well.
Very convenient.
Yeah, so we've got a whole lot of Kraken connections for that family there. But yeah, he said on the radio today he's excited to call SLC home and is really looking forward for the opportunity that he has here with the Utah Hockey Club.
Oh, yeah. we got an annunciation for you. Here we go. Ochik.
Tell me if we got that right. Let me know. We're close. Thanks, EC, though.
Yeah, and the screen is far away. So I think it says Ochik.
So yeah, let us know. Nick Ochik, yeah. So.
And appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We can use all the help we can get with these names, man.
Yeah, and so again, he's going to be one of the play-by-play announcers. And do you got anything on Nick?
Nope.
Okay. Moving on to Dominic Moore. He's also been announced as an analyst. So we've got a 3-man booth, which is interesting. Is that, I don't know if that's typical.
I think that's standard in hockey.
Is that
There's
standard?
A lot going on, man.
Yeah, so there's 3 people broadcasting in the booth there.
Well, plus there's going to be alternates too, even if you have 2.
Oh, Olchik. We need to have the L in there. Thank you.
Olchik.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, EC, for sure. Yeah, we didn't have the L in there, but yeah. So we have 3. So we have Dominic Moore. He's going to be announced as an analysis as well. So we've got Nick, and we've got Dominic. So I'm guessing we're going to call him Dom. Probably. That's probably what we're going to go there.
I think we just call them both Dominic.
Nick, and Dominic.
We'll just decide to change their names all the way.
Anyway, so he's a retired NHL player. He played 14 years in the NHL with a total career point total of 282, and worked for the last 3 seasons as an NHL analyst for both NBC and ESPN. So super excited to have such a long veteran of the NHL on our broadcasting team. And this isn't his first go around. He's been doing it for the last several years there for national broadcasting company. So yeah, absolutely. That's actually their name. Sorry, the National Broadcasting Company and ESPN as well. Didn't realize I used their names. But anyway, so yeah, super excited about that. So 3-man in the booth. So you said that's pretty standard in hockey, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before.
And again, plus there's going to be alternates, right? So if you've only got 2 people, one person needs a night off where you're traveling, staying home.
True.
I mean, you think the Jazz broadcast team has 3 people too.
I guess that's true. That's true. You got, yeah, for sure.
And sometimes they're all 3 there, depending on if you're there, you might have 2. So,
well, you have 2 of them up in the booth area, and then you have, what's your name?
Like a sideline reporter.
Well, she's not sideline. She's actually like on the court side at the press booth there. I always thought that was weird how they had Thurl and Buller up there behind in the press booth there, but what's her name is dead center court side.
Yeah.
Like where they used to be broadcasting.
Yeah,
Holly Rowe. Thank you. It was driving me nuts. Could not think of it. It was Holly. Thank you. Sorry, Holly. Not that you watched the channel, but in case you did. Sorry, I forgot your name there for a second. Anyway, so we also have, speaking of, we also have Kim Becker, who is going to be the studio host, which is, she's a former competitive figure skater, nearly a decade of broadcasting experience under her belt there. Most recently, she hosted the Colorado Avalanche live on Altitude TV. So
Sweet.
she's coming across the hill there, built-in geographical rival. We'll see how she does there.
Love that.
For sure.
Love that.
We also have Sarah Merrifield. She'll be our ringside reporter, former sideline reporter, and pregame host for Bally Sports in Dallas, covering the Stars, Rangers, and Mavericks. So that's going to be good. She covered a few different takes on a bunch of different sports there. Obviously, glad to have her. Glad Bally's loss is our gain there. We've covered quite a bit in baseball how Bally kind of screwed the free agency market for a lot of baseball teams this year. So glad to see that she found a job outside of that. So that's awesome. So yeah, it looks like we got a stellar cast there to be broadcasting games. Now games will be broadcasted on KUPX channel 16. So I did not know we had a channel 16.
I don't know if there is. I'm curious if SEG Media does something like they did with the Jazz, where you can pay for like the whole season. You know what I mean? And just use like their app. It seems like that would be pretty easy to just make another channel for.
Yeah.
But I don't know how the media rights work with the NHL. So I don't know if they exclusively own them or.
Yeah, this is according to Athletic. Sorry, not Color the Athletic. This is according to the Salt Lake Tribune that the games will be broadcasted on KUPX channel 16. So maybe I'm old. Maybe it's been a while since I've had to deal with rabbit ears, but did not know we had channel 16.
Well, let's get them out.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think when it comes to our broadcasting team. I think we're in good hands here. It sounds like we have a lot of experience, a lot of talent when it comes to the broadcasting side of things. So yeah, looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
You got anything else on the hockey?
That's what I got, buddy.
Yeah, we're about 3 weeks away. The first game is going to be on October 8th, the first regular season game. Yep. So it's going to be super awesome to see that, and can't wait for it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait for hockey to get started and you guys to tune in. Also, I do want to say thanks to Mr. Tracy for giving us the line on Josh Doan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Appreciate it for sure. And again, when it comes to that, folks, before we move on from that, we did want to announce that we do have, if you're watching this on our main channel, we did launch Utah Hockey DNA. It is a sub channel to our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, where all of our Utah hockey contents can be posted first. So if you're watching us for our content, be sure to check out Utah Hockey DNA. If you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, Utah Hockey DNA will be linked in the comments down below. If you are watching this on Utah Hockey DNA, please make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be giving away one of those sweet new Utah Hockey Club jerseys.
Yep.
So be sure to check it out for sure.
Sure will.
All right. So on McKinley's thing there, let's go ahead and thank you. Let's go ahead and switch the color over, shall we?
Great. Do you want to run the intro for Utah Jazz?
Yes. Yeah, I thought we'd switch the color over first, though.
No, you got to do it. Remember, we have to do it while it transfers, right? So that's like the whole thing. It's like an illusion.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see here. We got a couple of things before we move on. We have, let's see here. Same.
Can't wait for hockey season. Absolutely,
man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And then also, will do. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching, man.
Appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over to. Let's go ahead and talk some Utah Jazz.
Utah Jazz basketball, man.
Let's do it.
Always. It's supposed to be done when I get back.
There we go. Close enough. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your Utah Jazz, shall we?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes, we should.
Now, before we get into the main subject we want to talk about today, which is going to be predicting the Utah Jazz starting rotation, let's go ahead and first give flowers to THT, Talen Horton-Tucker. Talen signed a partially guaranteed contract with the Chicago Bulls, according to The Athletic. He is a native Chicagoan. At least I think that's how that's said, and is looking to extend his NBA career with the Bulls this season. He averaged about 10 points per game with the Utah Jazz over the last 2 seasons. So want to give a shout out there to THT. Thank you for the time.
Yep. No, I'm not. This doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Just want
whenever he was on the team,
it was just I just cringed every time I saw him on the floor. I was just like, "Don't shoot it."
If you're ever watching the game, or if you're not watching the game, you don't want to turn it on, and you want to see if the Jazz are going to win. Look at how many minutes Talen Horton was playing. Yeah. So for sure, but yeah, good luck to him.
Got a comment already. I have some sad news from McKinley Coulter. Cutler.
We still call you Coulter. I'm sorry.
It's Darren's fault, just so you know. I have some sad news. I don't think the Jazz will be able to lose enough games now that the tank commander THT is gone.
Yes.
Signed with Chicago.
Love it,
Yes,
McKinley.
sir.
Spot on.
That is correct.
That comment's going to make the video for sure.
Yes, he is
Absolutely.
absolutely the tank commander. He
Man.
was our shining light when it came to losing basketball games.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to readdress the whole thing. We talked about our videos last week about which player the Jazz are going to get in the draft in the 2025 draft, and we're going to have to rethink that now. That
Make sure you
THC
check that
talking
video
about
out. It's a good one.
Yeah, not a whole lot of people watch that.
Watch it.
It's very strange.
It's a great video.
Very strange. Anyway, but yeah, so obviously with THT not going to be with the team, we need to set our new starting lineup because obviously we had them in there if we wanted to take for sure.
Yeah.
So with him gone, we now have to address that. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Give me your starting lineup for the Utah Jazz starting in October. Go.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready, buddy.
I'm going to say it slow so I can put the names on the screen and post edit.
Okay.
Keontae George. Dun, dun, dun. Colin Sexton.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Williams. Lauri Markkanen. And John Collins.
Okay. Quick question on that.
Okay, I'm ready.
Cody Williams and Lauri Markkanen. Who's small and who's power?
They're interchangeable.
They're interchangeable.
This is the NBA.
Is the NBA pointless? There's no position.
They're both shooting guys. So I mean, you can realistically switch. It's not like you have one guy that's going into the low post to beat people up. It's not like one of them's Karl Malone.
Okay, so break it down. Why are these guys your pick for the starting lineup for the Utah Jazz?
So I actually really like this lineup purely because it gives you so much more shooting than the Jazz. The fact is I do believe the Jazz are going to try to put a roster together and a lineup together that is going to give some of these young guys the best possible chance to get playing time. And I think that doing this, this is such a different lineup than we've had in so many past years, because this would be the first time ever that the Jazz have 5 guys on the floor. Sorry, the first time in a long time, not forever, but the first time in a long time, the Jazz have had 5 guys on the floor that can actually shoot the basketball.
Okay.
They can actually shoot a 3-ball, right? You're good and long, as far as you've got plenty of length on the court. Colin Sexton's your smallest player on the floor at this point at 6'3". Yeah, you're going to need Keontae to shore up his defense, but having 5 players on the court that can shoot the 3-ball, even be a remote chance of shooting the 3-ball, is going to create a ton of space. It's going to give Lauri a ton of flexibility. You're going to give guys to work off of screens and on screens. It's going to give Lauri some catch and shoot threes, which obviously is his bread and butter in the league. So no, I mean, I think this is the way that it goes. I think Cody Williams probably beats out any of those other guys.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. We've got McKinley jumping in saying Keontae and also saying same, but with Kessler in for John. So I like what you're going with there. I agree with you to an extent on that, but let me go ahead and pivot on that. So do you want to hear my starting option here?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have point guard. We have Keontae George. Shooting guard, we have Colin Sexton. Small forward, we have Lauri Markkanen. Power forward, we have Taylor Hendricks. And at center, we have Collins.
Well, that's pretty close, actually.
So the only reason why we have it that way, and I want to touch on this real quick when it comes to why we're not starting Walker Kessler and why we're starting John Collins, is simply because of that contract, man. You can't not have that contract sitting on the bench. Would the Jazz in the past sit their star player just simply because he's not meshing well with the team, even though he's the highest paid player on the team? Probably. But in this case, I don't see that happening. I think he's going to earn a starting role. I definitely think Kessler is going to probably be the first one off the bench to alleviate with him. But you also got to remember that Kessler kind of did fall out of favor with this team last year when not really kind of buying into the system on how the Jazz want to use him, which is the pick and roll, pick and pop, and pick and dive type center. Like they had with Rudy, he wanted to be more of a, pop out and shoot 3 type, shoot the corner 3 type thing, which didn't work. And then, we kind of expected him to get a lot more time with USA basketball in the Eurobasket, whatever, the World Cup thing they did. Not the Olympics, the one that doesn't matter, that no one cares about, the other one.
Correct, FIBA,
there we go. I'm just kidding. We actually liked watching FIBA. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch these Jazz players for different countries play. But he did not perform well with that team. I think he was misused, but I have a better idea of why, is because he didn't want to fill the role that he was fit there to be. So I kind of feel like he's kind of fallen out of. I would not be surprised if he's not on this Jazz roster by the end of the year. But so when it comes to first off the bench, I actually have JC at shooting guard, Patty Mills at point guard, and Williams at small forward. And then as far as the backups, I have Bryce Sensabaugh at point guard, Filipowski as a power forward / center, and Juzang as a small forward as the backups to the first off the bench. So
that's crazy. I have Clarkson as the first guy off the bench, with Patty Mills probably being the next guy. I have Taylor Hendricks filling in for either Williams or Markkanen. And I think they're going to use I do think Hendricks probably has a very good chance of being the first guy off the bench if Cody Williams does win that starting spot. And then they move Laurie to the 3. You know, I mean, I think those 3 guys are almost interchangeable because they all do kind of shoot the 3 ball. They're all 6'10" to 7 foot. So I think they're going to try their best, obviously, to develop Taylor Hendricks and Cody Williams simultaneously.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of thinking the same way on that, but I'm thinking the Jazz are going to be more likely. Hardy's going to be setting the lineup, and he's going to try and win games versus the front office who wants to develop young talent.
Yep.
So that's why I think they're going to put in the established players and have Cody Williams be more of a development player when it comes to that and kind of be the first guy off the bench, even though I think he has a higher ceiling than
I think Cody Williams is a better player than Hendricks.
I agree. 100% agree.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that he's better he's more NBA size ready at the power forward position than Williams. So that's just kind of where and this could both be either way on this one, guys. We still don't know what the Jazz's game plan is. Are they going to try and be one of the 5 worst basketball teams in the NBA, or are they going to try and push in the chips in the middle and try and make a run for it just like they did last year and, be on the outside looking in? Who knows? I think really either way, we don't really know, and that could go either way. That if I knew the Jazz's intentions, that would preset what I think their starting rotation would be.
Yeah.
If they're going to tank, this is not the starting rotation I go with.
No, but I think this is a great starting rotation if you're trying to develop young players, as well as, I mean, the starting lineup's not very good.
No.
You know what I mean? Like Keontae George, as much as I love him as a player, he's not very good in the NBA yet. He's not winning you ball games. Colin Sexton, he's one of the better players on this whole roster, but he's still not winning you ball games.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Williams is going to be a rookie. Rookies make mistakes every single time up and down the floor. Lauri Markkanen is going to be the best player on the floor in all but 10 games this year. You know what I mean? Like he's just that guy. And John Collins, the big reason that I have John Collins on the floor in this starting rotation is because I do believe the Jazz are going to try to maximize and show off John Collins so that they can use him as an asset to trade.
I just don't know how
for any future. Well, I mean, the fact is that someone is going to need somebody. I think, I know he's got a stupid contract, but it's not stupid on 1 year left on his contract.
Yeah, well, it depends. Yeah, true. There's no such thing as a bad 1 year deal. Very good point.
You know what I mean? So
very solid point.
They're going, if they look to move Collins just to add value or to equal out a trade, like his contract is the one you're going to try to move.
Right.
So, I mean, like I was looking at some of the Brandon Ingram stuff that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and I think Collins almost has to be involved in it.
Right.
Just based on contract values.
Yeah. And I would actually think it would be a good move for the Jazz to go after Brandon Ingram for several reasons. I know I said in a previous video that I didn't agree with the Brandon Ingram thing.
You've changed your mind.
But it's not the big game hunting move though.
No, it's not big game hunting.
That's very much an ancillary move.
That is a move that moves you into the future to have a team.
Yeah. He would be the top 50. If Lauri Markkanen's the top 30, he's the top 50.
Yeah.
Right. So he would not be a better player on this team than Lauri Markkanen is.
No.
But he definitely would be a better piece for Lauri to have around for sure. And then
gravity, man. It's all about gravity.
Whatever Keontae turns out to be, whether it's a shooting guard or a point guard, we'd love to see. So I do want to track back to this comment from McKinley saying, yeah, that Kerr has a grudge against traditional centers, so it makes sense that he didn't play
absolutely. And I do believe that.
That's what we talked about big in that video where we said that he wasted him,
Yeah.
So I do think that USA would have had a chance to win that against Germany if they would have played Kessler more of a traditional big role and ran it more of a traditional big.
Well, that was exactly what they needed. They also needed interior defense, and they were
outsized by Germany, and
they're outsized, and they're
Canada.
Still running undersized guys trying to run interior defense. It was just like, what are we doing exactly? But It's all good.
We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think is going to be the Utah Jazz's starting rotation this upcoming season? We're about 3 weeks away from the first game, I believe. No, 4 weeks away from the first game for the Utah Jazz. So let us know in the comments down below what you think. We probably have camp starting here pretty soon, right?
Pretty soon.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah,
soon
we're almost there.
Yeah. By the way, did you see their Jazz's record on like their not their record, but the Jazz's
Projected
schedule?
wins.
Yeah, because of the hockey team, they're going to be spending a lot of time on the road.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough road schedule. Now, keep in mind, it's going to be a little bit more balanced going into the future there between the Jazz and the Utah Hockey Club, because this was kind of like, what hit the fan. We've got to figure out a way to get the schedule figured in, and the Jazz's schedule wasn't quite set yet, so they had a little bit of wiggle room there, and so that's why the Jazz kind of got the short end of the stick there. I think it's going to be more well balanced going forward.
It will be.
That'd be a future video topic. Let us know in the comments down below if you want to see that. Which team is going to get favored on the SCG group going forward, the Utah Jazz or Utah State?
It's all about that.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Which team wins the championship first?
Oh, dude, that's a better video.
That is a better video. Note to self.
Not going to say it. I already know my answer. But before you guys, if you guys didn't know, we've launched a sub channel for your Utah Jazz called Utah Jazz DNA. This is where we'll be posting all of our Utah Jazz content first. The full unedited version of what we talked about today will show up on that channel first the day we record it, folks. The day we record it will show up on that channel, or the day after, depending on how, if we could be bothered or not. But it will show up on that channel first.
It will show up on that channel.
Yes, all the content will show up on that channel first. And also any subsidiary videos that we put on the main channel, DNA Sports Recap, will also show up on this one. Once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away one of those sweet new Utah Jazz black jerseys. So be sure to check those out.
You're going to love it.
We're going to be giving one of those away once we hit 1,000 subscribers on this one. This is our fastest growing channel, folks. We have more subscribers over the last 30 days on this channel than any other channel we have right now, which was crazy to see that growth. So if you're watching this on our main channel and you're watching us for the Utah Jazz, check it out. Check out Utah Jazz DNA. If you're watching this on our main channel. Did you put your hand
the wrong way?
I did. Yeah. So, So if you got
first
you had to
day?
derail me, man. You had to derail me.
First day.
Gosh, dude. I was in the middle of a flow there, and you completely messed it up. So where was I?
Right in the middle of the screen.
You're the Vanna White of the show, so I really shouldn't jump in and start doing that whole thing. You have that nailed. Usually it's reversed. The image is flipped when you do a film. So I was pointing this way because usually it's flipped. But anyway, so again, folks, if you're watching this on our main channel, Utah on DNA Sports Recap, the link to Utah Jazz DNA will be in the comments down below. Be sure to check it out. And also make sure you subscribe to that channel so you don't miss out on that giveaway for sure.
Sorry, I messed you up, Darren.
It's all good.
You were right in the middle of you're right in the middle of your flow.
I was having a good flow going too.
And put the overlay back up.
Yeah. This is a live show, folks. It's great. It's great. I love the gangster move too. They just, the instruction to take a little sip there. I like it. It's awesome.
How I roll.
I like it. Once again, folks, if you're watching on the live stream, we'd love to hear from you folks. Please feel free to chime in.
Comment.
Let us know
over there.
On.
Over there.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the image isn't flipped, so he nailed that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and pivot on over to a little bit of Major League Baseball, shall we?
I think that's a fantastic idea. What do you guys think?
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball. All right, folks, let's go ahead and break into a little bit about Major League Baseball, shall we?
Oh, yes.
All right, so let's first go ahead and talk a little bit about Domingo Germán, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if you guys caught this. Now, it's been a while. I want to talk about this last week, but we didn't get around to doing an episode last week. Sorry about that. So this is kind of a little dated, but the subject is still close to
solid
what I want to talk about here. And, this is on this week's episode of Why Trevor Bauer Isn't in Major League Baseball. Let's go ahead and talk about Domingo Germán. With the Pirates, he made his 7th appearance, which would be his 2nd start. In his first start, he absolutely shoved, throwing 6 shutout innings against the Texas Rangers. Since then, he's not played well. In the next start, he gave up 8 runs against the Cubs. And then his next start, which is also against the Cubs at home, he also gave up 6 runs. And his current ERA is 7.84.
Jeez.
Yes. So this is the same player that pitched a perfect game for the Yankees last year.
The most recent perfect game in MLB history.
Okay. So,
Or in MLB, sorry, not history.
well,
That was a weird saying.
Does anybody else pitch perfect games other than baseball? Maybe cricket. I don't know. Possibly.
Great point.
So I think you weren't too far off there.
Okay, cool.
So don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, so this same player that plays now. Do you remember why this guy's not playing for the Yankees anymore?
I do.
You want to break that down? You want me to?
I do. Well, I mean, it all started with him being intoxicated in the clubhouse.
Oh, that's 2023. Let's go before that.
Oh, that was the last one I had.
So in 2019, Domingo Germán was handed an 81-game suspension for violating the MLB's domestic violence policy when he was belligerent and physically violent towards his then girlfriend, now wife, at a Yankees, not a Yankees, but it was a CC Sabathia's charity event. It got so bad that she had to lock herself in the bathroom and call friends to come and get him away from the premises so she can unlock herself out of the bathroom.
Wow.
So that happened in 2019. He served an 81-game suspension from that. So then he did come back and he threw his perfect game after that. And then
owned it.
Then again, what happened in 2023?
That's when he's intoxicated in the clubhouse. The other players on the team, he's intoxicated and making an absolute scene. So the players have to hold him inside of a sauna while the team prepares for the game. He calms down, finally gets released. This is a big deal, right? Like, talk about the reason you don't want a player to be in the locker room with you. Like, nobody that's just absolutely belligerent.
Yeah. And when it comes to more on the story, he did flip over furniture, mocking an injured teammate in this, which is kind of,
this is a dick move.
Kind of a dick move there. The team recommended that he attend rehab, which he agreed to because believe it or not, he said the Yankees wouldn't pay me the $800,000 they still owed me if I didn't go to rehab. So that's why he went.
That was the reason he went.
That's the reason he went, because the Yankees threatened not to pay him.
I mean, I would go to rehab for $800,000 too.
Yeah, I definitely would too, for sure.
Especially if the Yankees owed it to me.
Yes, exactly. So why are we talking about this guy, right? Well, this is the same guy, in my opinion, that has already had his second chance in Major League Baseball and still blew it. And just 10 days after a perfect game, got his second chance to pitch in Major League Baseball. Just 10 days after throwing his perfect game, got a chance to pitch in MLB this season. If this guy got a chance to pitch in Major League Baseball after he blew his second chance just 10 days after he threw a perfect game, why the heck is Trevor Bauer not allowed in Major League Baseball?
Thank you. Exactly. And the thing is Domingo Germán, it's not like there was even a found guilty. Like, everybody knows homeboy did this stuff.
Yeah.
There's multiple counts. There's witnesses. There's a beat up ex-girlfriend. Like, this is a whole ordeal, dude.
Yeah. This is a whole thing. This is girlfriend, now wife, that went through all this with him, and obviously want to be protective because YouTube Business Daddy does not like certain words. So we're going to make sure to bleep all this and stuff like that so we don't get in trouble. But yeah, I have a hard time thinking about this when I think about this player and certain Mr. Bauer, and why this guy is allowed a third opportunity to pitch for the Pirates.
Trevor can't even get a second.
And Trevor can't get a second. Explain that to me. And I would consider Trevor Bauer to be a much more talented pitcher than Domingo Germán. Wouldn't you consider that to be the same?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he did throw a perfect game.
But that doesn't mean you're the best pitcher. And I mean, that can be a combination of things to throw a
excellent game. Defense, bad day on offense, all the stuff getting combined, right? To make that happen.
That is everything just coming together exactly like it needed to throw a perfect game.
So this is kind of where I'm thinking at when it comes to Trevor Bauer in Major League Baseball. I don't think the charges that were brought against him or any of that has absolutely to do with anything. This is more to my campaign about this, where I don't think anything regarding the suspension is the reason why he's not currently in Major League Baseball right now.
Right.
This guy did two things that jump out to me that basically disrespected the game that is keeping him out of Major League Baseball. One, he jacked up his finger right before a playoff start, cut his finger open, tried to make a start the day later, and was bleeding all over the place. So he didn't show respect for the game by messing around with a drone before he had a playoff start, right? just mainly put that away until after the
Not
playoffs.
a great look, Trevor.
Not a great look. And then later, the next season, he decided his pitcher was point when Francona, one of the most respected MLB managers in all of baseball, just retired this year. Tony Francona, I believe is his name, for the Cleveland Guardians. He decided to throw the ball over center field wall when he was being pulled out, which is kind of disrespecting your.
Bauer did that?
Yeah. That's disrespecting your manager. That's disrespecting your team.
That's pretty bad.
And that's not a good look towards your fans either, where you're just gunning the ball over the center field wall.
Yeah.
Not a good look. So those two reasons, plus his constant badgering of the MLB front office, constantly getting, starting issues with the MLB commissioner's office and all things like that. That's why he's staying. That's why he's not in baseball right now.
But again, though, Domingo Germán has had 2 chances to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor just needs 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not about the guy who's out for seemingly the same reason was allowed back in. And even though there's no charges, nothing was filed, no criminal charges were faced, and a lot of the accusations were considered false, he still is not allowed back in. So that's kind of why I'm saying this is another one of those things where it has nothing to do with this suspension. It has everything to do with the fact of how he treated baseball before this whole thing.
In the darkness.
In the darkness. Hang on one second here. This is where we're going to jump into. We'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about the lighting there, folks. Actually, that's not any better, but that's okay. Let's go and get through this.
Bad things happen to good lights, people.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
Exactly. But yeah, so when it comes to that, that's kind of where I'm sitting at when it comes to the whole Trevor Bauer thing. I think what's really keeping him out of baseball, Major League Baseball, has absolutely nothing to do with the charges that are brought against him. It's more about, all the off-field stuff. That's really kind of not off-field stuff, but how he treats baseball off-field and how he represents it in the media, I think is what's keeping it back. Keep in mind, this is a guy who's a Trevor Bauer supporter. I believe he belongs back in the league, should get a shot. I just think this is another piece there. The Domingo Germán thing is why I think that's what's keeping him out.
Yeah, I mean, so Trevor Bauer, it was just reported within the last day or so that he got multiple offers from the Dominican Winter League.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no answers yet on whether he'll accept one of these offers or not. Obviously, he had an absolutely stellar season in the Mexican League, where he had 10 wins on 14 starts, led the league in strikeouts, and was second in ERA. So he missed the Triple Crown to Zach.
Spoiler alert to everybody watching his stream there. He has a couple more starts that he hasn't talked about yet.
He has what?
He has a couple more starts on his stream he hasn't broke down yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the season was over a while ago before, and he's still releasing his starts as he goes. He still has, according to his blog, he still has 2 more starts left.
Oh, okay.
So spoiler alert.
I'm sure it takes a little bit because he does. I mean, those videos are pretty. I'm sure
pretty intensive.
Pretty. I mean, I do a little bit of editing myself. I'm sure that is a nightmare.
Oh, for sure. So when Trevor Bauer talked about it, he said, "Yes, we have talked with Dominican teams from the Dominican Republic. Well, we haven't had any discussions about playing, but many teams from the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, and Mexico have contacted me. So right now, we are counting on everyone. I won't decide anything until the end of the season. I don't want to be distracted about what's happening here." So he's talking about at the time the Mexican League was still going on there.
Yeah.
He stated that he isn't. He stated so. Basically, what he says, he's still trying to make a run towards Major League Baseball. That's what his goal is to be on a roster next year. we're both here at DNA Sports Recap. We're rooting for you on that one,
100%
for sure. So you guys if you need a reference, let us know, Trevor. We got you.
We got you. Yeah, 1,000 subscribers. Just saying.
Yeah, just saying. We got some. Yeah,
got some pull.
Yeah.
I do. I do kind of want to talk a little bit about though, like Mexican Baseball League is probably what, 4th, 5th in the world.
I'd say right about there. Yeah.
Because you got MLB, which is obviously the top players in the world playing Major League Baseball.
Right, and then the NPB.
And then probably the Korean Baseball Organization is probably number 3-ish, right?
KBO, yeah, I put it there. Yeah.
And then where does Dominican Winter League stack up in this scale? Is this going to help is this going to help him get seen by more teams? Is this going to, as far as talent wise, because a lot of players say that the pitching in the NPB is some of the best pitching in the world. It might be better than the MLB pitching. The offense is better in MLB, but the pitching is better in the NPB.
Okay.
So would he benefit from going back to the NPB, pitching there, showing that he can compete with some of these great pitchers versus, making a move to the Dominican Winter League?
Well, the Dominican Winter League would be just that, Dominican Winter League.
Right. Absolutely.
I don't know if that'd get in the way of going back to the MVP. I know he did want to go back there to win this the Samara Award, which is basically their version of the Cy Young.
Right.
Because nobody's won the Cy Young in both leagues. So he's something he wants to try and do.
Yeah, he'd be the first in the world
to do that, which would be great, which would be a nice little feather in your cap there, but pretty sure you trade that away for being on a rotation. Here's one of the statements that was made in that interview that kind of rubbed me the wrong way here when it comes to Trevor Bauer. And keep in mind, I'm a Bauer supporter. I do think he deserves a chance to be back in the league, regardless of what you think.
Sword.
Yeah, for sure. I do think he has a leg to stand on there. But he did state there that there's not an MLB team that has 3 pitchers better than him as far as talent-wise, and that's an issue. So I don't know about that.
Which MLB team do you think has 3 pitchers better than Bauer?
Let's start with your Braves, shall we?
My Braves are close, and I was thinking that.
We got Chris Sale, Spencer Strider, Max Fried, and Charlie Morton are all pitchers. I would put mainly Charlie Morton is not better than Bauer, but the other 3 definitely I put in front of them.
Right.
Let's talk about my Dodgers, shall we?
Yeah, you have to.
You've got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. You've got Tyler Glasnow, and then you also have.
Ohtani's back next year.
Ohtani will be back next year, and then you also have who's pitching this year?
Glasnow.
I said Glasnow already. But, not Max Fried.
Max Fried's great too.
Yeah. A little bit of slip there. Previewing a future off-season episode, by the way. So keep that in your mind if you're paying attention. But I also would have to say that Jack Flaherty would be a better pitcher than what he is currently. So, the Dodgers have a stacked roster, man. And when it comes to pitching, I believe the Braves are doing a pretty good job there. There are plenty of teams that, don't even have 2 pitchers that are better than Trevor Bauer. But to make the claim that no team has 3 pitchers that are better than Trevor Bauer, that's a bold claim, man. And I just don't think he backed it up.
Yeah, I think I disagree with that because, the Braves have 2 or 3 that are clearly. Strider's obviously out this season, but the Braves have some great pitching, man.
Yeah. So I obviously think the Padres and the Giants would also have something to say about that as well within the division. So
yeah.
Anyway, so we're rooting for you, Bauer. We hope you get a chance to get back in the Major League
Absolutely.
Baseball. So if not, we look forward to watching you in the MPB
and honestly, just following your YouTube channel because it's amazing.
It is amazing.
Make sure you guys follow that.
Absolutely. Have you seen his first content back from the Mexican League there where they did the bingo tic-tac-toe?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, not tic-tac-toe, but bingo where
I usually do it when I'm making Trevor Bauer videos, and then it delays me like 3 hours when I'm making him because I just get up watching his. I'm like, no,
get stuck reading his content.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about the whole Trevor Bauer situation with Domingo Germán getting a second and third chance, being basically charged with the exact same thing Trevor Bauer's been. Do you think there's much of a standing there for that being the reason why he's no longer in the league? We'd love to hear from you. Let us know.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and move on to a little bit brighter news, shall we?
Yes.
We are now recently monetized YouTube channel, and we need views. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani. Boom, boom, boom.
So let's talk a little bit about Shohei Ohtani, shall we?
Yes.
All right. So before we get into going forward here, let's go ahead and first talk about him making the 40-40 club. Do you want to break that down a little bit for us?
I do. So obviously Shohei Ohtani has recently reached a landmark at 40 and 40 that only 6 players in Major League Baseball history have ever accomplished. Ohtani obviously just accomplished it this year. My boy Acuna Jr. obviously did it in 2023.
MVP, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Most valuable player. Alfonso Soriano did it in 2006.
For the Nationals.
Alex Rodriguez did it in 1998.
Seattle Mariners.
Barry Bonds did it in 1996.
Giants.
Wow. And then Jose Canseco did it in 1988.
Athletics.
He's just strong and fast.
Yeah.
So this is absolutely crazy. You know what's? I got one thing on this. You know, one player that I really thought would be on this list. Name one player you thought would be on this list when you were looking it up.
Ricky Henderson.
Mine was actually Ken Griffey Jr.
No kidding.
I really thought, I feel like as a kid, I was always like, Ken Griffey Jr. steals all kinds of bases.
Yeah, he does.
Surprise, he did not. He did not steal that many bases.
No,
the most stolen bases he had in a season was 24. That year, he did hit 48 home runs in 1999, but he did not steal a lot of bases.
Do you know why he's not on the 40-40 club?
Why?
It's because the dude wouldn't stop running into the wall to catch every fly ball that came his way.
Hey, you got to make it happen.
The guy was not injury prone, because that means that you're just likely to get hurt. This guy did everything. He put his body on the line every single game. And that's, I'm surprised he's not on that list, but I'm also definitely not surprised because that guy would just not stop running into the center field wall every catch he possibly could. Yeah.
I loved Griffey Jr., dude.
Absolutely.
As a kid, oh my gosh, he was the best.
Yeah. So on the stat out here, the thing that just jumps out at me is that the stat that he did it faster than any other player in Major League Baseball.
Crazy.
By 21 games.
21 games faster?
21 games faster than any other player. And he also, when he did it, he still had a month left of the season. Everybody else on this list was definitely pedaling, trying to get through with maybe a week or two left in the season.
Yeah.
So with the exception of Ronald Acuna Jr., obviously, who stole 73, oh my goodness, bags, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
MVP.
One thing I want to squash on that whole thing is that
I need to make that a shirt.
Yeah. Stolen bases equals MVP. Definitely. We got to get a shot of him holding up the bag there for number 73 too. But anyway, so Ronald Acuna Jr., they're talking about how this is. So we're now in back-to-back years since the bases have been made bigger. We've seen 2 players do this when we only saw 6 in history.
That's my question too.
Yeah. So
how often?
Let me pump the brakes on that one real quick.
Okay.
I don't care how big the freaking bases were last year. 73 stolen bases for a guy who just repaired his knee. That's really impressive. Do you think if the bases were the same size, he wouldn't have gotten 40 stolen bases? I highly doubt it.
It's very unlikely. Yeah.
I think Acuna was just a man on a mission last year. He wanted to get it, and he got it, man. So good on him for that. Now, we do have 2 back-to-back, and believe it or not, there's somebody who's very, very close to getting it this year, is actually my sleeper for the MVP on the American League, which is J-Ram.
How many stolen bases does he have?
He is 7 stolen bases away.
From hitting 40-40 this year?
For hitting 40-40 this year.
Wow.
7 stolen bases, I believe, 6 home runs.
And the thing is, once you see that you're it's in the path, he's I'm going.
Yeah, you got to just look at Ohtani.
I get on first and I'm going. Yeah, Ohtani all of a sudden was just I'm taking every base I can get.
Yeah,
he's stealing third.
In the last 2 months, he's almost doubled his stolen base count compared to the whole freaking year.
Yeah,
which is insane. So, do I think there's something to this? Absolutely. I do think the bigger bags, the less chances the pitcher has to engage is going to affect this. We're going to see more 40-40 going forward. Do I think that cheapens anything that Ronald Acuna did last year? Absolutely not. Do I think that's cheapening what Tani's doing this year? Absolutely not, because he is the first player in Major League Baseball history to go 43-43. No one has ever done that in Major League Baseball history. Every home run, every stolen base that Shohei Ohtani has this year is setting a new Major League Baseball record. So do I think it's cheaper? Is what he's doing cheapened? Absolutely not, because he's the first one to do this. Do I think it has anything to do with Acuna Jr. being cheapened? No, because he stole 73 bags, for crying out loud. 73.
Now, no one's ever done 40-70.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's impressive, right? There's just never going to be another guy. Now, with that said he is on pace. Shohei Ohtani, the great Shohei, is on pace for a 50-50 season, which he already has set a Major League Baseball record for being where he's at right now. He has, I believe, 46 stolen bases and 43 home runs right now. at the time of recording. So do you think with 3 weeks left in the season, Shohei Ohtani gets to 50-50?
I think that teams will probably stop throwing him anything here soon.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like with the ridiculous hitting that's been, like, there, it's going to come to a point where you're not going to throw him anything middle. You'd rather take, I mean, obviously situationally, right? But like, you're not going to throw him anything that you think he has a chance of putting out.
True.
Because you don't want to be the team that was like, oh yeah, we gave him 2 home runs in one game for his 50-50 season.
Yeah. I will say this, though. The last home run that he did hit was actually just about 2 inches shy of being in the right-hander's batter's box.
I actually saw a couple games ago, there was one that was like, I mean, the ball's breaking way out of the zone.
Yeah.
And he still put it way out. I was like,
yeah,
there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. I will
just don't throw to him. Like,
yeah.
Intentional walk him every time is the only chance you got.
Yeah, but he is the leadoff hitter. So you definitely do not want to see. This is why I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to get the opportunity, because guess who's behind him? You can't walk Shohei Ohtani and put a man on base for Mookie Betts.
Absolutely. You're not going to.
Mookie Betts, by the way, who was the MVP frontrunner before he went down with the broken hand,
right,
for the National League. And this happened actually last 2 nights ago against the Angels, where they had a runner on and they walked Mookie Betts. They walked Shohei Ohtani to get to Mookie Betts, because the Dodgers already had a 1-run lead and the Angels were trying to minimize the damage. So what do? They walk Shohei Ohtani, 2-time MVP, to get to the person who was the front runner for the MVP before he went down with the injury.
I think he just go double steal at that point. And
he also was the front runner to the MVP last year, but lost to Acuna Jr. because of the whole thing. Stolen bases equals MVP. So this guy was potentially a 3-time MVP, and he walked Shohei to get to him. What did Mookie Betts do?
He probably smashed it.
Crushed a 3-run home run.
Oops.
What are you doing there?
Damage control is out the window at this point.
Yeah. So what are you doing, man? So obviously, I think Shohei Ohtani will have a chance to get to 50-50. He's only 4 stolen bases away. And by the way, these stolen bases are not cheap stolen bases. What's his name? Ken Rosenthal of Foul Territory went on a podcast and actually did the numbers, did the deep dive. There is no wasted steals where he's on base with a blowout. He just steals a bag.
Right.
These are all in games where there's less than a 2 or 3 run lead, and he's moving out of scoring position into scoring position.
Right.
So every one of these 50 stolen bases is, all these 46 stolen bases, none of them is garbage stolen bases where they're blowouts. Unlike some other people in the past who did did take a few bags just because they wanted to inflate their numbers.
Yeah.
He's doing every one of these things just to make his team better. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's impressive. I mean, what he's doing is just crazy. I mean, I feel like people have forgotten that he still has a surgically repaired elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also amazing because, when it comes to that, this guy, Shohei Ohtani, when we talked about last year, when it came to the MVP over Mookie Betts over Ronald Acuna Jr., my argument was Ronald Acuna Jr. had a higher WAR, right? His WAR was much higher. But obviously stolen bases had a play in that. You got to click the button. There you go. Now you can control. There you go.
I got scared. That was amazing.
Sorry, Tabby, friend of the channel. That was
Tammy Price, friend of the channel, was amazing.
He will do it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Tammy, for chiming in there on that. So a lot of the talk about that is whether or not we talked about this on a previous episode, and we might actually make this its own video. So you'd let us know in the comments down below. But right now they're talking about the fact that obviously Shohei Ohtani is my pick for the National League MVP, and they're trying to make the argument that Francisco Lindor should be the MVP because he plays defense. So
we've got a few of those comments in the comments too.
Okay. What's your take on that?
I think that MVP should be the player that impacts his team to win the most. And to do that, your team has to win the most.
Okay. So you think, but based off of that agreement, then Aaron Judge shouldn't have got an MVP last year because the Yankees didn't make the playoffs, even though he tied Roger Maris's record for most home runs in the American League. He didn't deserve it.
He still independently helped his team win ball games.
And then both of Shohei Ohtani's MVPs that he has right now are invalid because the Angels never made the playoffs while he was on there.
Perfect.
So
the Angels suck.
Yeah, the Angels do, which is, I feel bad for Mike Trout. But here's my argument that I just don't think that the MVP has ever been a defensive award. Defense has never been considered. It's a nice caveat. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but it's never been the case.
If you're a great
right?
defensive player, though, you win a Golden Glove.
Yeah, if you're a great defensive player, you
Is
win a Golden Glove.
Lindor a Golden Glove candidate?
He is currently at shortstop. I think his defensive run saved is actually quite good. However, that's kind of the thing there. If defensive ability was important when it comes to the MVP, then why wasn't Fernando Tatis Jr. the MVP last year when he got the Platinum Glove Award?
Right.
Why isn't the Platinum Glove Award a front runner every year to win the MVP? It's because it's an offensive stat.
Right.
It always is. And right now, Shohei Ohtani, with only playing offense, not having platinum level defense at shortstop, has a higher WAR than Francisco Lindor. Right now, his WAR is 7, and Francisco Lindor is 6.3. When it comes to hits, Ohtani has more hits, 14 more home runs, 15 more RBI, 20 more stolen bases. His batting average is 20 points above. His OPB is higher. His slug is higher. His OPS and his OPS plus all higher than Francisco Lindor. So the argument that Francisco Lindor should get the MVP simply because he plays defense, I really don't see your argument there.
No, I'm with you.
Awesome.
100%. I agree.
All right. We want to hear what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think in regards to Shohei Ohtani when it comes to the 40-40 club. And do you think he has a chance of making 50-50? We'd love to hear from you down below. If Shohei Ohtani is not your National League MVP, we'd love to hear from you on who you think should be the National League MVP. Is it Francisco Lindor? Is it Bryce Harper? Our boys pick right over there. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know. Keep in mind, folks, we did hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So if you have not yet, please hit subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So if you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that giveaway.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, make sure you know this is available as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts, audio only.
With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ. And this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.